how can we make sure that sanctions are really smart, at least from a Ukrainian perspective? I mean, you've been here for 3 months in Brussels, trying to rally the EU to, drive home the messages, what Ukraine needs, why it should be done now or whatnot. So I want to give the floor to you, Alexei.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you for the colleagues for great insights. When talking to my colleagues in the Western countries and to Western audiences, I suggest that they see sanctions as a last peaceful mean that keep you from going into the battlefield. But for us, for Ukrainians, and for me as Ukrainian diplomat, sanctions are weapon. And we know that in order to win in a war, we need to use that weapon in smart way. So we need really smart weapons. So how to make those sanctions really smart? At least 3 things. First, smart coordination. Second, smart targeting. And third, smart information or smart communication. And let me tell you more about it. First, smart coordination. This is something what Tim just described as a political unity and unity of the West. And years before, sanctions have been a thing that every single jurisdiction and the government does for themselves, and only after that communicating, talking, discussing with other parties. What we see right now is this unity of the West, and I am absolutely happy that Ukraine belongs to the West, because on a regular basis we coordinate what we did and what we do on sanctions. I'm participating on a regular basis in different foreign discussion like G7 plus or Ukraine EU or bilateral talks with the colleagues. And we managed together a big team of analysts and specialists back in Ukraine to provide for our partners information about those sanctions. So coordination is key, smart coordination, number 1. Number 2 is smart targeting. There is a well-known phrase of people who've been working with sanctions in the previous year, and Dan Fried said one of the principles of smart sanction is follow the money. And this is exactly what we suggest to our partners to do, and this is what we try to implement in terms of designating people and areas. And best examples are, for example, as we figured out that Russian Federation badly needs catalyst chemicals for production of fuel. We gathered together with EU, NATO, and the UK and made sure that Russia doesn't get those catalysts. So very important in terms of stopping their army from advancing. Or just smart targeting of those Russian politically exposed persons who might have assets in different jurisdictions in the US, in UK, in the European Union. So we've just not introduce a blank sanctions, but target those who have assets and who would suffer most. So number 2 is smart targeting. And then smart information or communication. Once again, Tim said about InfoWar, and now everybody speaks sanctions. But what we've been lacking in previous years, that governments or politicians avoided an honest discussion with their voters. Why we need those sanctions? Why our reaction to those atrocities are sanctions? And I think President Biden, in the very beginning of the full-scale Russian invasion, told to the Americans that, of course, we will bear the cost of this sanctions, but they will hurt Russians much more. And my call to all the audience is: we know that it would hurt you, but think about those atrocities. Think about the everyday losses of Ukraine. Don't you think that $100 gas bill for a month isn't worse that support that your governments and your communities give to Ukraine? So smart information, talking to your own audience, and using that huge support and huge solidarity which we Ukrainian people, Ukrainian government enjoys now internationally, is what I suggest to do. 3 things: smart coordination, smart targeting, and smart communication.